like to welcome everyone here to the AGM of the Buckland playing field meeting. And I'll let you know it's the AGM and it is being streamed on YouTube. It is a live streaming one and it is here in the chapel. And I'd like to thank everyone for coming along, and there will be a committee meeting afterwards, not with the public, with the ones that want to be on the committee to discuss. That'll be after the AGM here. Now, to start off on the agenda, is there any apologies for absence?
Mr. George Haber can't be here. He's having an operation in London. He would like to be.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you're right. You've got it on cushy bit.
Another apology from Lee Honey, who's on the committee.
I'll just hold on, there's some just coming in as well. Yeah, right, minutes of the last meeting, we have there, the ones that's here rather than Teresa Hector circulated them last year. Is there anything from the minutes of last year? Do I agree that I sign these as correct? Yeah, anyway. Right, now is there any matters arising? Oh, yeah, keep them up here, just in case. Matters arising from these minutes? Right, let's take them. Yeah, sorry. I should have signed them then. Right, 1, 2, 3. No, you've been handed a treasurer's sheet.
Pardon?
The treasurer's sheet.
Yes, well, I've given out as many as I had, so hopefully everybody's got a view of them. To be honest, there's not a lot of transactions, as you can see, but our total income this year was £1,117. This was made up of a donation of £70 from the mini market, £500 from the Bridge Trust. We made £90 at the beacon lighting for the D-Day celebrations, and £444 were made from the quiz that was held in February. So that was our income this year, making the total of 1,117. Outgoings, expenditure, we made, as you can see here, the big saving has been made on the insurance. We've paid £351 this year. We felt compelled to find an alternative insurance supplier because their quote this year for the old company was over £1,000. So by hunting around, we've made a massive saving there. So that is what's really made us look very healthy. The new policy is with a company called Community First, and obviously we did a lot of research to make sure that they offered us what we needed, and we all felt that they did. And they specialise in insurance for community areas, just like us, so significant saving. The other cost that we had this year was the inspection. For people that are new, we have to have the equipment, and anything on the field has to be inspected every year, and to make sure that it's safe for everybody. So that had gone up from £170 to £190, so a £20 increase. And those were really the only transactions we had this year. So overall, we've had a slightly less income But obviously the outgoings were much less because of the insurance. So we're in we're in a slightly healthier position than we were this time last year, with a balance of £4,600 with the two accounts that we've got. Okay?
I don't see any costs for the grass cutting.
No, that was done by the parish council, but in the end by David Brown. So that was as agreed.
Yeah, well, I don't see anything listed on it.
Well, we didn't pay anything, that's why.
No, but surely it should have been mentioned.
The reason it isn't is Kevin Lobb does the accounts for me, and because it wasn't on the previous year either, he only goes back 1 year previous. So he only does, if it hasn't appeared last year or this year, then he doesn't include it. So you'd have to go back to previous years to see it, but he only does things for last year and this year. Okay? I mean, we could go back years, but that's how he does it. And to be honest, I bow to his, the way that he does it.
It's just that the parish council would have been a donation or a grant, as it was, and it would have...
But that was more than 1 year ago.
Yeah, what I'm saying is it would have also shown up with the grass cutting accounting for it. That's all. I'm not saying it should be within the county.
Okay.
Generally, it doesn't exist, but it did.
Yes. That's why it's, yeah. Has anybody else got any problems with it as it is? No?
There was never a grant from the parish council for the grass cutting day or something.
Yes.
On the 14th of October 2020, parish council, when I was a member, they agreed to take on the grass cutting.
So that's from since 2020?
Yeah, and they've never agreed not to since then.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with that. I'm just saying it doesn't, it's rather strange that it doesn't show anywhere that that cost is even being absorbed by the parish council.
No, it doesn't, you're correct. But because this was the playing field one, then... Okay. And really, what I wanted to say was thanks to Kevin Lobb. I mean, he's not here tonight, but for doing the accounts again for us, so, it's much appreciated. Is there any other questions? Okay.
Right, is everyone happy with those accounts? Right, what's Right, I'll give my chairman's report now, and then with the parish, then we'll follow by the parish overview. Now, our last AGM was held in the church rooms on the 26th of November 23, with new faces coming to join our committee and bringing new enthusiastic ideas. A new grass cutting person, Mr. Glyn McKinnon, was appointed to cut the field, giving the grass 15 cuts this year. And I think everyone would agree that the playing field has looked fine condition this summer, something the village can be proud of. The field has been well used, with a good cross-section of parishioners using it as a meeting place with friends while taking a stroll, exercising themselves and or their pets and kicking the football. The playground has been well used by the children. The committee provided and planted some of the native wild snowdrops and wild daffodils, the lent lilies and bluebells in the hedges at the top of the playing field and amongst the trees planted 5 years ago. We look forward to in the spring arriving to see what show this will provide. It will take a few years for them to naturalise and give a good show. We have had our annual safety audit report carried out and there are no major problems, but there were areas pointed out for improvement and some items in the amber bracket that will need attention in a few years' time. As the three existing trustees have reached a very senior age, discussions took place to safeguard the amenity and playing field for the rest of the 199-year lease. It was decided to ask the parish council to support the playing field association, Buckland Brewer, for the remaining years of the agreement. At the meeting on the 1st of February 24, all the committee members in attendance voted unanimously to approach the Parish Council. The Parish Council will discuss this on the 14th, 2024 and voted by a majority to provide support. That's a report, but now I will comment on the lease, which I hear, the original one, and a bit of the history for you. Now, to clarify the lease, in the mid-1980s, a group of people led by the late Mrs. Netzler looked at various sites for a new parish room and playing field. She was offered the present area of the playing field, providing that planning permission was obtained for the site on which is now Castle Meadow, with 8 bungalows and 2 houses behind the church. Now, we must remember that back in 1980, planning rules were more stringent than they are now, and this field was outside of the building line of the village at the time. That's building, playing fields, whatever, it was outside. Planning permission was obtained for the bungalows, and eventually a lease was obtained for 199 years for the village as a playing field and amenity field. This lease was signed on the 1st of May 1994 with Andrew Hewitt, Ian Brown and myself as trustees, as being the first members on the committee, with other members joining this committee then. Initially, to comply with the lease, plenty of work was needed. Most of it was done by volunteers as finance was tight. The rest is history. After obtaining the playing field, planning permission was granted on the allotments for a new village hall where plans were drawn up by an architect. This had to help serve, besides the village hall, to serve a football field and a playing field. The project was later abandoned in favour of a site down by the school in the present village hall. Now, the lease states that the normal rules of not being able to sell it for commercial buildings, etc., but we are able to provide a sports pavilion, sports hall could be built, and the owner could give, we have to ask permission, but it could not unreasonably withheld. There are no requirements placed on the playing field or the trustees or the committee to provide equipment or functions for the field, only to maintain it and make it available for the village use. This means that one person needs only to walk the field once a year and the committee's obligations are met. Now, I can't read it all out there, but under the section for the trustees' obligations, I will read 5, section B. Not to assign or underlet or part with possessions of the whole or deemed premises, except for the purpose of vesting the term created thereby in the trustees for the time being as the Buckland Brewer Playing Field Association and or Charity Commission or some similar body nominated by the Buckland Brewer Playing Field Association, and provided that any such under lease of such derivatives interest shall contain similar restrictions against assignments. Now, the solicitor looked at that and he advised that this is the most important paragraph of these, as it cannot add a body more similar to the Buckland Brewer Playing Field in the Parish Council. And it is to be nominated by the Buckland Brewer Playing Field Association, not the 3 trustees that signed it originally, not a landlord or a general meeting. It states in there, it is the Buckland Brewer Playing Field Association. Now, that's just a basic general overview of it. Now, because we've asked the Parish Council and that has been accepted to help join us for it, I'll pass over to Mrs. Jo Miles, clerk of the parish council to give an overview of what is possible. Thank you.
as a
and principles to it. And this is, I think myths have arisen that there can only be 3 trustees, and that really is the case. There are as many trustees as you have in your committee, because that is what was set out in the Charities Act. So that's about it really. So if anyone has got questions, I'll do my best to answer them.
I'm trying to get my head around one aspect of it, is that I was on the parish council for 12 years, and somebody goes, got me the parish council for £25,000 for a playing association of the year, which is quite right. We always give a grant, we needed the grant. Certainly during COVID they were gone under, and with the parish council. So, you know, the parish council has always supported the playing field association. And I wonder why you want to get this close to parish council, close to the playing field association.
Well, I don't make the decisions for the parish council. I don't have a vote. So I don't have a horse in that race. But all this is doing is giving some kind of protection to
I say something? Andrew, I don't really understand your objection. You know, surely anything that's going to secure the future of the field has got to be a good thing.
Well, I have to say, what concerns me is I don't think anything's been done. Looking at the income, there's always been things, there's no sport being carried out on the field. It's become a dog walking field. Nothing has been progressed at all towards trying to get kids on there to play cricket, to play football, to do any
But
sport.
you need people to organise that.
I'm not saying it's easy, I'm not saying it would happen tomorrow, but I don't see any movement towards a sports field, which is what it was set up for.
Right. Yeah, anyone else like to pass any comment or?
That's separate.
That was the original football field for Buckland Football Club.
Okay, right.
Sorry, just can I just ask Joe one more question?
Sorry?
Can I just ask Joe a question based on what she was
Sorry?
saying? At the moment, the parish council agreed to pay for the grass cutting. Will there be a vote to stop that, and then it will be back to the
It
players?
will just be handled as a grant.
So it will go back to being a grant.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been treated as a grant.
Well, it hasn't. It hasn't. If you go back to those minutes that you
Yeah, but I mean, it's still got to be treated as a grant.
Okay,
so
well,
it's still
so it can be applied for in the normal way.
absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it means that the Playing Field Association can keep the Bridge Trust grant, which we were concerned that would be lost.
Yeah, it's easy.
Well, if nothing's changing, then they can apply for that.
I don't know what's changing.
Yeah, we can apply, the playing field can apply for it. Yeah, we are still a playing field association which has this 199-year lease, or was 199-year lease.
The question is,
So if the parish council taking financial responsibility at the end of the day, then they would argue the Bridge Trust that in fact it's a revenue organisation and it raises money.
But we're independent, aren't we, from the parish council, so we can still apply for grants.
Yeah, we can, the parish council can apply for grants like we can. And the playing field association will be a separate body to apply for it, for the grants.
I can understand what Joe says about the trusteeship, because the village hall is actually run on the same basis. Everybody who's a member of the committee of the village hall is also a trustee of the village. So that's a known practice in the village hall.
Is it? Oh, that's a statement, right, okay. Right, we move on now then. Oh, sorry.
If this goes ahead and it comes under, if you like, the cover of the council, are you able to back away at a later stage if you want to?
Yes, yeah, anytime, yeah.
So it's not like it's set in stone, so if it wasn't working properly down the road, the committee could come around and say,
Yeah,
we want to
absolutely.
set up the links that are there.
Yeah, and it's only going to be a financial sector. So if there was a windfall, for instance, and they would solve them for the next 10 years, then absolutely.
No, is that okay? Any other comments or questions? Or we'll move on. For elections of committee members, there is, excuse me, I got it. Our committee members, there is 2 resignations been received, is Sharon Evans and Richard Hooper received. Yeah, that's in writing. Is there any other, well, there's 2 only here, and one that gives his apologies. I assume you're waiting to stand, that is. Yeah, no, that's what I mean, waiting to stand, yeah, for it. Oh, it's standing, yeah. Now, is there any nominations then for new members on the committee?
excuse me, David, do you want us to
Yeah.
get up and move over there now?
No, can it be like, no, I'm going up.
You're happy with it?
No, I'm not worried about that. No, is there, we will have a committee meeting afterwards. Nominations for new members, good.
Well, stick my hand up and volunteer if you like, sir.
the moment, we had the three of us up, 4 of us up here on the front. Andrew will still be on unless he's resigning because he's on.
Andrew Hewitt.
Andrew Hewitt. And Ian Brown, sitting on the front, was the other trustee. But we haven't received no resignations from them, so we assume they're still on as committee members.
So that's it.
And Lee Honey. Lee Honey.
Oh, Lee Honey,
Gave
yeah,
his
that's the one I
apologies.
said was gave his apologies.
Yeah.
She's not.
Well, Phil, you put your hand up, what did you?
I'll volunteer.
Right, would someone nominate Phil? Yeah, sorry, I don't know the names. Phil was nominated.
Sue Donegan.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
I have a point of order here, Chair. According to the Constitution,
Yeah, but that's, well, that is out of date as such.
that still stands. In fact, it's not out of date until it's voted on as out of date.
No, we will go by this and have them nominated on.
Well, according to this, you're supposed to advertise it and give 28 days notice for anybody wishing to be on the committee.
Well, I wish Andrew could have put it, you'd come in the last 2 or 3, 4 years, because you've done it like you haven't raised objections before, but
cutting their grass and everything else.
you've accepted it before.
Well, I've been in hospital because I had 2 ruptured discs.
Yeah, I know all that.
I still take 3 lots of painkillers, one of which is morphine, and that's why I didn't come to a lot of committees, because I don't bloody stand.
Please don't swear.
I'm not telling you like that all the time.
Right, is there any other nominations for it? We'll put it down, we'll write it there. We'll write it down. Is there any other nominations for?
So we've got Sue Down and Phil.
Any other nominations? Right, is it?
Second those are nominations. I'll second Sue
Oh, I
Donegan.
thought they were seconded, sorry. Yeah, that was the thing, yeah.
Christine. Second.
Christine, if you know, yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know the names.
That's fine.
Right, election of the officers, or you're the chair. Yeah, chairman first is chairman.
I'm going to propose you, David, as chair. Would anyone like to second that?
Assuming I'm on the committee now, I'm not
You are
supposed to say
appointed.
that.
Yeah, you need to come and sit up here now.
Yeah, no, this one over. Right, now then, the vice chairman. Yeah, you've got vice chairman then there, yeah. Vice chairman, is there a nomination for vice chairman, please?
Nominate Phil.
Is there a seconder?
I'll second Phil. Treasurer.
Now, could we have a treasurer, because we haven't, a treasurer is now not here, will be resigning. Could we have a proposal for a treasurer, please?
Propose Sue Donegan.
A seconder? Or you, well, nominated there. I don't know.
Christine second. Christine.
And could we have a proposal for a secretary, please?
Yeah, I propose Lou.
Thank you. Anyone like to second me?
Yeah.
Phil.
Sorry.
Right, that is the officers for the committee. Then there's all, the only thing left on here is now is the date of the next AGM. so that is usually,
We do the Tuesday.
oh, the nearest to this one then is Tuesday the 25th of November. Is that agree, the proposed, the 25th of November,
Yeah.
25. All right. Well, thank you all for coming, and hope to see you again, and hope you'll be supporting the committee at the playing field. Thank you. Oh,
Like a well shot.
I don't think it was nice.
So I've only done 3 or 4.